Hey guys, it's Blue Gal. Happy Monday. Whew. What a weekend, huh? I know, everybody's getting, their pen handy to write a blank check to John Boehner. Which is not going to happen, by the way. Don't despair. I was despairing until I realized that we have a say in this, and it's really important to remember that. But it's exhausting. It's just exhausting. I have been dealing with my own financial woes in the past 6 months to a year, whatever, forever. Had, big change in my economic status this year when I got divorced, but I'm eligible for all of these services now, and then I find out they're full. So, my 4-year-old is eligible for Head Start, and she's eligible for early childhood, and then they're full. So one has to figure out how to pay for daycare when you're eligible for free daycare. I had a situation where I was eligible for health insurance for my children, but discovered, fortunately, early on that if I had this kind of health care, state-sponsored health care for my children, they wouldn't be able to see any of the doctors in town because there are virtually no pediatricians in town who will take a new patient with Medicaid. So I wound up, for the month of July, paying what is essentially a mortgage payment for Blue Cross, an additional month of Blue Cross for my kids, so that they could see a doctor. And then they're not a new patient anymore. And, this goes on and on and on. I read an article this weekend that just really astonished me. There's a place in Wisconsin, Germantown, where their all-day kindergarten is so popular. They have half-day kindergarten, and then they have full-day kindergarten. And their full-day kindergarten is, of course, extraordinarily popular with parents. And it's so popular that in the past they've had to have a lottery in order to get kids into the full-day kindergarten program, which means that some parents are left out of that program. And so, because it's so popular, what Germantown, Wisconsin has decided to do is end full-day kindergarten for all kids in their district. I remember talking to a friend of mine who was born in 1946, the very beginning of the baby boom. And I asked her about that. What is it like to be right at the beginning, of this massive generation? And the first thing she said to me was, every time I graduated from a school, in 3rd grade, in 6th grade, in 9th grade, and in 12th grade even, going to college, every time I transitioned into another school building, I had a brand new building. Because there was a need to accommodate me and the millions of other kids that had been born that year. And today we just seem to have erased that sense of valuing our kids. I mean, it astonishes me. And I've been thinking about how to counter that in some small way, so that we reverse the belief that we're not a society, that we're not all participating in an effort to live together as a country. And as a world, did you guys see the Target commercial that was on last night, where today's barbershop, and it's these hair clippers, you get your hair cut at home, and today's night at the movies is in your house with a flat screen TV, and today's such and such, and everything was all about insularity, just. You're going to do and of course no one can afford to go out anymore, but that means we can't afford to be out in a community anymore either. So I've been thinking about ways that we can communicate that we are part of a society and that that matters to all of us. And this dovetails very nicely with what I was going to do next week for video blog, and that is to invite everyone who's watching this to go to your public library this week or next. Next week is Banned Books Week, and it's a great week to go to your library and use your library card if you have one, and get a library card if you don't. And also, this season, they are doing the National Endowment for the Arts, a federal government institution which amazingly is still in existence, is sponsoring the Big Read. And we're all reading Fahrenheit 451, which in an era when one of the vice presidential candidates seems to be into book banning, this is all very timely to read this and to participate in the library. And, you know, Sarah Palin trying to get books out of a library. Go get a book out of the library for Sarah Palin. Go take one out of the library for her. Try to make it a banned book. It occurred to me that participating in some sort of voluntary community activity and going to a public library is an easy way to do that. I got my library card for this community just a couple of weeks ago, and I had gone online to find out where my local public library is and how one goes about getting a card and what kind of ID I would need and so forth and so on, and found that there were online reviews of the various library branches from people typing in what they thought of the libraries, and the only review that was there for the downtown library was this person complaining about how the library staff has just opened up the whole library to the homeless, and that's all it is just one big homeless shelter. And I thought, wow, you know, that's the only community comment on the public library. And I have to admit that it made me think twice about both visiting the library, isn't that awful, and taking my kids there. But I thought, this has just got to be an ugly, ugly lie, and who cares if there are homeless people there? You know, it's a library, it's a public place. And so I went there, and it's gorgeous. You know, it's just gorgeous, and if you're in need of resources to try to find a home for yourself, it's a perfect place to go. And I was just astonished at how lovely a community resource it was. So there was a little girl there who had just turned 5 getting her first library card, and the librarian was talking really loud to her about how great it was that she was getting a library card. So go to your library this week or next, and I encourage you to do that. Join the Big Read. This is, if you look up Big Read online, you'll find more information. The library has a CD, which is an intro to Fahrenheit 451 that you can listen to, and there's also, somewhere around here, there's a reader's guide. Although most of you, a lot of you have already read this, but reread it, and that'll make you look really intellectual. I'm rereading Fahrenheit 451. Anyway, that's my goal for this week and next, is to get back to the library, participate in a public institution, get out of the house, and not be insular, support something that is part of our community and has government support, and show that that matters. Salon tonight, and we'll see you then. I'm looking forward to it, and thank you for listening. Take care. Bye.